Coming up on First at 4, the number of COVID-19 cases in the United States surpasses the 3 million mark. And we'll talk to a firefighter diagnosed with PTSD about how he's managed to cope.
And the hot and humid conditions continue as we head into your Thursday. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the U.S. reported a record 60,000 new cases of coronavirus nationwide Tuesday. Hospitalizations are also rising in 22 states. CBS's Chris Martinez has the latest from Los Angeles.
Florida recorded its highest ever percentage of positive coronavirus tests Tuesday.
We are seeing a significant increase in the amount of COVID cases.
ICUs at more than 50 Florida hospitals are now at capacity, but Florida's governor is downplaying concerns.
They're asymptomatic, they're kind of incidental COVID positives in the hospital. They would not need to be hospitalized.
As hospitalizations surge in Texas, the chief medical director of one Houston hospital is making a dire prediction.
In the next 2 weeks, we are probably going to end up being what New York was 2 months ago.
Houston ICU nurse Tana Ingraham is recovering from COVID.
It's tricky and it's evil. Saying that because I was fine 2 days before I got sick. And I literally, 2 days after that, was praying, God, just take me.
Hospitalizations are rising in at least 22 states, and a majority of them is seeing average positive test rates above the 5% recommended to safely reopen. Arizona has the highest in the country, averaging 25% positivity statewide. Cases and hospitalizations are also up here in California, but testing is also up. More than 100,000 tests have been performed daily over the past week. But local health officials say some people testing positive are not cooperating with contact tracers, the healthcare investigators trying to determine who else may have been unknowingly infected.
Their individuals will say that they will not provide this information to the government.
Officials stress people who share their contact information remain anonymous. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Health officials say the information is also not shared with law enforcement. 2 separate lawsuits naming Governor Andy Beshear have been filed over orders made during the COVID-19 pandemic. One lawsuit was filed in state court on Tuesday to force the state to continue offering vote by mail to all eligible voters to ensure a safe election in November. Another was filed in federal court by a group of Northern Kentucky landlords trying to resume evictions. The governor issued an executive order in May suspending evictions due to financial hardships caused by the pandemic. State and county fairs are a quintessential part of summer for much of America. Even though the Kentucky State Fair is still on, a significant number have been canceled this year because of the pandemic. CBS's Nancy Chen takes a look at the impact on local communities and a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Eric Campbell is a fourth-generation concessionaire whose fair history goes so far back his family helped popularize the corn dog in the Midwest.
Can't go to the fair without a corn dog.
No, definitely not. Des Moines-based Campbell's Concessions sells its famous corn dogs and pineapple whip at fairs all summer long. But this year, the entire route is canceled, including the biggest event of the season, the Iowa State Fair, scratched for the first time since World War II.
Whatever money you have to borrow, the capital that you just lost, you won't make that back up in 1 year or 2 years. It might be a 5-year down the road recovery for us.
Already, more than half of the country's fairs have been canceled, and that number is expected to rise.
Fairs are having to make that agonizing decision that they simply cannot produce the event that is needed.
Marla Calico is the president of the International Association of Fairs and Expositions. She estimates the industry generates more than $4.7 billion in revenue each year, with about 100 to 150 million people attending.
This ripple effect throughout the communities, it's extensive. It is extensive. And for many rural communities, the loss of a fair is going to hurt.
Calico says some sites are hosting food drive-thrus to help vendors. Other locations are being repurposed for socially distanced events. And some county fairs are still trying to help 4-H and FFA members show and sell the animals they've raised.
It's just small things that are the trick of what we do around here.
As for Campbell, he says he'll shelve his new corn dog flavors until next summer, when he's hoping to serve up that irresistible fair food to families once again. Nancy Chen, CBS News.
Fairgrounds are also losing millions from other canceled events no longer renting their space. Now, as for the Kentucky State Fair in Louisville, it is still scheduled for August 20th through the 30th, but it will look much different this year.
And woo, it is a hot one out there today. If you've been outside, it is miserable out there. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. I went out even early this morning and instantly started sweating, and those temperatures, they're warm along with that humidity up there as well. Temperatures into the upper 80s to lower 90s across the area. A little bit cooler though down into Harlan and Middlesboro. You're lucky over there. You're getting a few scattered showers and thunderstorms cooling you down, but dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s for a lot of us, unless you're in Wise. A little bit not too bad over there, but we are in that instant sweat category, and that's exactly what happened when I stepped outside. So a lot of us feeling like those low to mid 90s, feeling like 94 in Jackson, 96 in Prestonsburg and London, feeling close to 90 over into parts of Pikeville. So there's a few of those scattered showers and thunderstorms down into Harlan and Bell counties. We zoom in on them, you can see that they've been impacting that area for a little bit. Now some starting to move into parts of Leslie County and even over into Knox, moving into parts of Whitley County here shortly. Like I said, there's just some pop-up showers, a few rumbles of thunder, nothing too crazy, and hopefully cooling you off a little bit. Now for tonight, we'll see temperatures drop near 50 degrees with those partly cloudy skies. We'll hang on to a few scattered rain chances as well. And tomorrow, well, that heat and humidity going to increase a little bit. I'll have more details on that coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Firefighters never know what calls they will get. From fires to emergency response situations, it can take a toll on their mental health. WIT's Buddy Forbes shows us the impact the job has had on one Pikeville man and how he is coping.
11 years as a firefighter have presented Nicholas Potter with a lot of ups and downs, but it's those downs that caused him to take a dive into his mental health. The Pikeville firefighter was diagnosed with PTSD in 2016 after responding to a call that he says was traumatizing for everyone involved. But he is now working to find the light as he seeks professional help.
In March of this year, I had a pretty significant mental breakdown, I'll call it, and my wife, who was instrumental on helping me get back on my feet, set me up with a doctor, and I started going to a therapist.
That help moved Potter to create a YouTube channel,
What's up, guys?
Escaping his inner misery by exploring true crime and creepy lore.
And, it gives me an outlet to just sit down and look up some things and research things I'm interested in, and that improved my mental health significantly.
Potter says being a first responder comes with a lot of positives, the biggest of which being able to save lives. But he now realizes how important it is to take a look at his own mental health. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Potter is also working to normalize mental health awareness. We'll have more about his journey with PTSD coming up tonight at 6. A man arrested in May after a police pursuit in Floyd County is back in custody after briefly escaping this afternoon. Sean Gayhart was caught shortly after 2 p.m. by Prestonsburg police with assistance from the Floyd County Sheriff's Office. He had escaped from the Floyd County Detention Center earlier today. Gayhart was first arrested in May after leading several agencies on a chase on US 23 through Floyd County. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Wednesday. The Dow closes up today more than 177 points. The U.S. Supreme Court has upheld Trump administration rules that weaken the Obamacare contraceptive mandate. The law requires that employer-provided health insurance plans cover birth control as a preventive service at no cost. The decision clears the way for expanded exemptions for employers who have religious or moral objections to the mandate. Another rule extends that provision to employers with non-religious moral objections. The Supreme Court's 7-2 ruling reverses the decision of a lower court. Coming up on First at 4, we'll show you how the Kentucky Speedway is handling 5 races without fans this weekend.
And scattered showers and thunderstorms continue over the next couple of days while soggy weather moves in for your Friday. I'll have those details coming up.